Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bolle, as always, and we got there eventually. Now, a couple of scares along the way, but what is probably the biggest game in at least 16 years, and maybe even bigger than that. Team USA versus Team Canada is locked in for the gold medal game. We are down to the final game of these Olympics. The knockout stage has blown the group stage out of the water, but we got to the result that we all anticipated would happen from the beginning, but kind of a different feeling going into the gold medal game than we did coming out of the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, this Olympics has rocked. I think that's the best way to put it. We got the result we expected with Canada USA in the final, but I don't think there was every knockout stage game was awesome. 3 of the 4 went to overtime. You have one semifinal decided in the last minute of the game with Canada and Finland, and the U.S. took care of Slovakia. But that quarterfinal day was some of the best hockey I've watched in a very long time.
I think that will go down as one of the best days of hockey ever. Like when we really sit and think about it, 3 overtime games in the quarterfinal, the great game between Czechia and Canada. That's, unless the U.S. and Canada really deliver, going to go down as the best game of the tournament. USA and Sweden, goal given up in the final 2 minutes, has to go to overtime. USA prevails in that one. Even Switzerland and Finland was fantastic. It looked like the Swiss were going to win for the most part until a late comeback from Finland and, good old clutch Lecky pushing them through the next round. I was like, what a day. What a great day. And then you get to the next round, and it looks like Canada's going to lose again when they take on Finland. They came back to win that game, and Slovakia, U.S. was the first one that wasn't really in doubt from the get-go. Like, we've been missing this for so long. We said this in the group stage, even when the games weren't that good yet. But these games are what we have been missing for so long. We have needed this in our lives for so long. We haven't gotten this in 12 years. It just feels so, we've been so robbed for so long. And I'm so happy that we're getting the gold medal game that we wanted. I would have been a little disappointed if Canada didn't beat Finland and they weren't waiting for us on the other side, because it would have been like, well, it'd be fun to win, but there's no punchline without beating
punchline. There's no punchline in that. And yeah, I was cheering for Canada to win. I wouldn't
go that far. I wouldn't say I was cheering for them. I would have said I would have been a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I wanted them to win, because if you win the gold and you don't do it over Canada, all Canada's going to say is, well, you didn't have to play us. I didn't want that, and we didn't get it thanks to Canadian heroics. That game against Czechia, we'll make this about the Avs real quick. Marty Necas was the best Av on the ice in that game. Marty Necas, this Olympic run from him was, I don't think it could have gone any better. Obviously, if they win the game against Canada and they're still playing. Yeah, Marty Necas was awesome this entire tournament. He was Czechia's best player, and that team has David Pastrnak on it, who we can all widely agree is a top 10, top 5 player in the world.
Yeah. That was one of the bigger surprises for me. It was like, Pastrnak was good. Like, he had his moments in the Olympics, but Marty Necas was driving the bus on that team. And the one way that it could have gone better for him is if he scored that breakaway in the final minute. I'm so gutted for him. He played perfectly in the Olympics, outside like a gaff or two in the group stage. He was great. He did everything that he could. He couldn't finish on the backhand in that final minute. And Canada scores the overtime winner. They go to him on the bench immediately. I'm just like, oh, poor kid.
Because you were gutted for him. And it's the thing was Dostal was awesome in that game. He played great. I didn't like that goal that Marner scores to win in overtime. It's a good shot, but man, that's a tough goal to give up as the game winner. It's a tough goal.
And the deflection that Canada scores to tie the game is just like, it sounds salty to say it was lucky, but they'll tell you it was pretty lucky to have scored that perfectly on a deflection from a shot from the point. But man, for Marty, from an Avs perspective, you look at his performance in the Olympics and are incredibly encouraged after. Well, he wasn't great in the playoffs last year, and he hasn't been great in the playoffs throughout his career. Seeing him perform at that level has to be very encouraging. However, seeing him miss that shot at the end, or at least get stuffed on the breakaway, I'm not concerned about it. I'm concerned that he's concerned about it. And I'm worried that it would undo all the great things he just did, that is going to haunt him forever.
I think it will. I mean, like he'll relive that memory for a long time. I mean, you can go back to a player like Marchand in that game 7, or was that game 5
Game
against
5
Florida?
against
Yeah,
Florida.
game 5 where he has the breakaway. Like he bounced back from it. Obviously, Marchand's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion at this point. Marty hasn't done much in the playoffs. I think he's going to be okay. I'm leaving it more encouraged in the fact that he was phenomenal this entire tournament. What did he end up with? 6 or 7 points, 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah,
in
the ballpark of that.
In that ballpark, he was great. He was great. It's just he couldn't finish, and that would have been a hell of a way to. Could you imagine walking into the building after you beat Canada?
Hypothetical. Is that the biggest star-making moment that you can have? Is scoring in the final minute, outside of winning the Stanley Cup, scoring in the final minute to knock out Team Canada and make sure they don't get a medal?
Yeah.
Like that would have made him a superstar.
Oh, he would have been He would have been an icon in Czechia forever.
Oh, there would have been statues built. It wouldn't have mattered if they won the next game or not. Like that, there are statues for him. If
the miracle movie, like Czechia gets its own version of that game. Like they get, because they had no one thought they were going to be competitive in the game. They lost 5-0
to them in the first game, and they had them for a little bit. Like that's the part that hurts me the most. I think Czechia had them more than Finland did by a lot. Czechia had them, and it just got away from it. Like you can't even be like, oh, they choked. Like the deflection that they scored on for Canada, was just that's just a great play. Like it's unbelievable. The overtime winner that's just Mitch Marner at 3-on-3 doing what he does best. I feel a little robbed by the 3-on-3. I won't lie.
Yes.
That I would have loved to see 5-on-5 until someone loses here, because why would we not do that? I still don't really understand that, but it is what it is. Czechia, like they have nothing to hang their heads about, but they're going to for a very long time, because you're not going to get that chance again.
No, and here's the thing too. We got to mention it too. They did score the game, what they thought was a game-winning goal with 6 guys on the ice. Like it was pretty egregious. I don't know how they missed that in real time.
The celebration had 6 people in it.
Yeah,
no one noticed. Canada didn't notice. The refs didn't notice. I don't think Czechia had noticed.
No.
Like it was the most subtle 6 players I've ever seen. I didn't know about it until after the game.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It was hilarious. Like you look back on it, and the thing is that's not a challengeable play. Like even if John Cooper wanted to challenge that, the video guys being like, they have 6 guys, they can't challenge it. But they had 6 guys on the ice for, like, you see a too many men on the ice penalty, and it's usually borderline where the guy's not all the way to the bench yet, and the guy plays the puck. This one they played for like 45 seconds.
They showed the angle from the other side of the ice with their bench is not even in frame. It's basically just showing the net, and there are 6 Czechia skaters in frame. It is so clear and obvious, but I don't think anyone was looking for it. It was so intense at that time that the refs were not looking. It was such an egregious thing that your eyes just glaze right over it. Because if you look at it and see it, you're going to think your eyes are playing tricks on you.
Yeah, well, and like usually you see that, and the bench of like Canada would have been on that, but they
didn't notice either. Like everyone was so into this game that they didn't notice. And can you imagine if Canada didn't win that game?
There would have been riots. It would have been so bad. But it was like Canada, they were owed one. They get that goal from Suzuki. And that just shows you what Canada's depth is, man. Like Nick Suzuki has kind of been an afterthought this entire tournament. You forget he's a top line player on one of the contending teams in the East, in the Montreal Canadiens. He makes a great play on that. He goes in 1-on-5, wins the puck battle. Did it go back to Taves or was it Sanheim?
I'm pretty sure it was Taves, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea who shot it. But a great deflection to tie the game. And then, like we said, Mitch Marner, 3-on-3. Again, I'm right there with you. The 3-on-3 just feels not great. And the thing is it's like the fact that it could go the gold medal and we're going to decide it 3-on-3 just feels.
I hate that so much, because that's never been the case.
No, and like 4-on-4, it was 4-on-4 in 2010. Like 4-on-4 is better than 3-on-3.
Like just what are we doing with this? I don't get it at all. So there is no shootout in this one, right?
No shootout.
It's just continuous 3-on-3.
Continuous 3-on-3 for 20 minutes, and then they take an intermission in between.
So why not just do 5-on-5?
Probably like if you ask an IHF person, it's for injury reasons where they don't want these guys getting hurt.
It's the gold medal game.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just telling you that's probably what they would say.
You're probably right, but like you're still playing for 20 minutes. Yeah. You're running every other overtime rule, just 3-on-3, which
no idea.
Stupid overthinking.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. But that game from Canada, like they showed some stones in that. When you have Crosby get hurt, which that's going to be a big storyline going into the gold medal game. He misses the game against Finland. They don't know what type of injury it is. I read something that they couldn't find a brace for him, so you would think it's something in the leg area. There's a 0% chance he misses the game on Sunday, right?
If he can move, he's playing.
Yeah.
If he's not playing in this game, you're not seeing him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, like he will. I am feeling pretty confident Sidney Crosby is going to play. He may not play like more than 10 minutes, but that's the whole point of having the extra forward.
He might play 5 minutes, but he might Steven Stamkos it back in 2020 where he plays one shift and scores. So that's all he'll need.
Yeah, like he's going to play. He's going to dress. And I did love the fact, like, I don't know if you were listening on the broadcast, they were talking about how the Canadian forwards have played so much ice time. And I'm like, what? That's not a big deal at all. Like Nathan MacKinnon is used to playing 25 minutes a night. 28 minutes for Devon Taves and Cale Makar is nothing. That's an ordinary night for them. Like,
they don't list the time on ice in the box score, really?
No, like I think MacKinnon played like 26 minutes in this game against Finland today. And it's like, yeah, that's a lot of minutes, but you're talking about these freak of athletes who are going to be so juiced up on adrenaline. I'm not worried about it at all.
No, I'm a little worried about MacKinnon, and it seems like he's dealing with a little bit of something right now. I mean, he did take that hit to the head against France. He kind of seems like he's a little hampered right now.
Yeah, a little hampered, but again, he's playing in this gold medal game.
Like, I'm not saying he's not going to play. I'm worried about when he comes back. Like, I'm worried about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he misses a couple games.
I wouldn't either. Again, because long-term thinking, is that the worst thing?
No, not at all. If he needs a couple days, or even if Makar and Taves, I would love for them to be healthy and play against the Wild, like that second game back in. But I'm worried about the rest of the season. Like if the Wild beat us on the second half of a back-to-back, the second game back, I'm not sweating it. I'm not sweating it. Like I would rather have healthy Nathan MacKinnon.
Even if he's okay, is that the worst thing to give him 2 games? Just here's your rest that you have not gotten that everyone else did.
I don't think it's crazy, but I also think Nathan MacKinnon's such a lunatic that their abs are going to have to physically keep him off the ice.
Yes, I'm thinking about it from a normal person perspective, not Nathan MacKinnon perspective, where he's just going to do it anyway because what else is he going to do?
Yeah, he's just a lunatic that way. He is like, but then again, he played the game against Finland today. He had like a 4-minute shift before he scored the game winner.
Yeah, he was on the ice for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
before he scored the overtime winner. And we can talk about that Finland game before we move on to the U.S.
Yep.
I mean, Finland started great. I mean, they're up 2-0 on Canada. They got caved in for the rest of the game. Like I give them full credit for keeping it close for as long as they did. UC Saros played out of his mind. Canada for the last 38 minutes killed them.
Yes. And it was just one of those ones too, where we've talked about it the entire time where Binnington has been, it's an odd choice to keep him. I can see why they play him because of his previous record, but he gives up 2 goals on the first 10 shots and you only muster 7 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
They full on turtled.
Yeah. They finished with 17 shots in the game.
They turtled.
Yeah, they turtled. And they turtled with more than half the game left. Where it's like, obviously Canada is better than them and they're going to outshoot them and have more sustained offense than them. But I just feel like Finland really let them off the hook a little 100%. Bit. And honestly, Canada could have run that score up a little bit more, if not for UC Saros. I mean, it came down to the wire and it came down to a power play goal. Now imagine Avalanche players, when you come back, you only scored 1 goal at 5-on-5 in this game, but you scored 2 on the power play. So you won the game
Yep.
So imagine that. Sometimes your 5-on-5 is just not working for you against the goalie. Imagine the power play coming through for you. And look first power play, who shot it? Cale Makar. He looked amazing that whole power play. He is setting himself up at the point. He's ripping shots. He gets a perfect deflection for Sam Reinhart. And then who scores the winner? Nathan MacKinnon. Driving the bus on Team Canada's power play. Guys, please bring that back here. If you come back home and this power play still sucks, I am going to have an aneurysm.
Yes. No, it's I think Canada's operating at like 45% on the power play right
and
now.
Obviously having Connor McDavid and blah, 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 blah helps. That's not the point. Again, you are Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar, 20%.
20%.
That is where my standards are at now. They should be way higher, but I'm willing to accept 20%.
Yes, I agree.
Season, please.
I agree. I don't know. It's just going to be one of those ones where hopefully they learn something and bring it back, because they'll probably get back. You think they probably fly out Monday?
I mean, they'll probably, whoever wins, celebrate the night on Sunday. Maybe Monday. I don't know how the travel works. Like, do you think after the closing ceremony, they're just like, "Oh, get out, get out"?
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're because the first game's Thursday, like 5 days from now.
Yeah, the first game, I'm pretty sure you're right, but I'm just gonna double check, is Wednesday, the 25th at Utah.
Oh, shit.
And then Thursday, the 26th, at home versus Minnesota. Because, like, once again, they're starting with 3 games in 4 nights right off the jump.
Yeah.
So I would imagine Monday.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do. Because here's the thing about the Avs having so many players in the tournament. A lot of them are going to play a lot of hockey. And it's going to be 7 games in 2 weeks, which isn't out of the normal for the NHL. But I wouldn't hate if MacKinnon, Makar, and Taves, and maybe even Brock Nelson, who's wearing a bubble right now, missed that first game against Utah. I wouldn't hate that.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I wouldn't hate it if it did. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. Like, it's just
like, here's the thing. We all knew this was going to happen. I imagine most organizations knew this would probably happen, where Team Canada and Team USA are going to play for gold. They're going to play the maximum amount of hockey imaginable. I'm sure they've at least had a conversation with some of the guys internally about what they want to do. And they're probably just going to leave it up to the guys. And the guys are a bunch of psychos, and they're going to say, why would I ever sit?
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting myself into. And we'll see how well that pays off when we get to late March and they've played a ton of hockey. But that's what they're going to do.
Yep. It's what they're going to do. So we'll have to see. But, yeah, that game for Canada and Finland, Finland really kind of turtled. I did love, like, that comeback they had against the Swiss with Arturi Lehkonen scoring the game-winning goal. It is just good to see people realize. Like, I feel like they've forgotten a little bit about Arturi Lehkonen, how clutch he is.
I mean, you start adding it up with him. Like, the clutch goals he's had in his career. To send Montreal to the Stanley Cup final in 2021, to send the Avs to the Stanley Cup final in 2022, to win the Stanley Cup for the Avalanche in 2022, and now an Olympic overtime winner in 2026 for Finland to cap off a 2-0 comeback. Like, this is just what he does.
It's just
no one should be surprised by it.
Yeah, he's clutch. And I did, after the game, he just goes, they asked him about MacKinnon, and he goes, he's the best player on planet Earth. Like, he had our number today. And it's like, yeah, that's just a guy who he gets to watch MacKinnon every day. And he's probably like,
imagine being Arturi Lehkonen and ever saying anything bad about Nathan MacKinnon ever when this guy like, you 50 points a year.
Hopefully that he realizes, because when his contract extension comes up this offseason, he goes, I don't want to play against that guy. Like, I'm going to stay in Colorado for the rest of my career. But it is going to be like, we're going to have to start talking about the Leckie extension, because it's an interesting one. Yeah. He is just a glue guy that you absolutely need. And I don't think he's going to leave, but I also just wonder, like, it's going to get tight. It's going to get tight. But Finland was great. I will say it was fun to watch Mikko Rantanen again and not hate him doing it. I did forget like how good the feeling
I will say there was a small, very small back of my mind satisfaction of Nathan MacKinnon scoring a late winner to eliminate Mikko Rantanen. There was a little bit, but it's mostly trumped by it's been over a year. I'm over it at this point.
It was fun to watch him again. Like I still love Mikko. Like he's the best, and it was good to see him. But overall, like I agree with you. Canada was the better team. It's just Finland, like, I can't believe they turtled like that. Like, they have NHL players. It was just weird to see them fall back defensive with 30 minutes left in the game.
It's like they had the right idea. And maybe if they had Barkov, we're having a different conversation. I think that's a big thing people are not talking about is Finland did not have the best defensive forward in the NHL.
Yes.
Barkov. He is the best. If they had Barkov, maybe they could have done a little more in this game, maybe a little more to close that gap. Finland plays very strong hockey. I was very impressed with how they looked early, going toe-to-toe with Canada and getting the 2-0 lead on them. But they just took their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have helped because Canada's Canada and they have all of that firepower, but they just were like, we got a lead and we're going to defend it. It's like, guys, Canada's going to score 3 goals. Like we'll talk about it when we talk about USA versus Canada. The U.S., I think, has to score at least 4 because you're not really going to hold Canada to under 3, I don't think. I think you are going to have to score at least 4 to beat them and vice versa, to be fair. But if you're Finland, you can't take your foot off the gas. And if you're the Czech, I think they did everything they could. Like I barely have a bad thing to say about Czechia's game. But for Finland, like I think they had the right game plan. They turtled a period too early. And it worked for a little bit, but then Makar got them back in the game. And it's inevitable Canada's going to score again. It's inevitable. Like they have way too much talent. And it ends up being Shea Theodore who ends up getting the goal for them. And they put themselves on the penalty kill late in the game. I mean, you can argue all live long day. Did McKinnon sell it a little?
He sold it, but it was still he still got hit in the face with the stick.
He still got hit. Like it's a penalty regardless of whether or not he makes sure the official saw it. Did he sell it a little bit?
Oh, he 100% sold it. Like we all admit he sold it. Like, but he did get my stick. Like you had Teemu Solani. Did you see Teemu Solani's tweet?
No.
Like that was
there's also the offside as well that they reviewed. I agree with the call that I don't think you can overturn that goal. Not with that. You can make the argument that maybe Celebrini is 2 atoms offside, but you can also make the argument that like his skate might be just barely on that line, and that's inconclusive. At best, that is inconclusive. I think they made the right call. It's an incredibly frustrating way to lose because also it puts Canada on power play to end the game, but I also don't think it mattered for Finland whether were 5-on-5 or not for 40 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the way how tight this has been officiated with the reviews. I thought they maybe would call it back, but they kept it, and I was fine with it. If I was a Finnish fan, I'd be adamant. Like you're zooming in as far as possible, and you're finding the point where he's offsides.
In that moment, with that close of a call, you got to go with what's on the ice. They didn't call it on the ice, and you can't. I don't think you could take that goal back. Not with that. Not in that moment.
No, I don't think you can. So, yeah, we can move to the USA game against Sweden, which that game was so stressful, and the fact that the USA, I thought, played a really good game against Sweden. They only score 1 goal in regulation off a Dylan Larkin tip, but for a majority of that game, they were executing really well, and Sweden did a really good job of locking them down defensively. USA had no transition game for a lot of that game. But the thing is I don't think USA won that game as much as Sweden lost it. The coach of Sweden needs to be like, if you're a Swedish hockey fan, what he did with that lineup is insane. It's just insane what he did. The guy he keeps plastered to the bench, and Jesper Bratt was maybe Sweden's best forward the entire game, and he played just the 3rd period.
Yeah, he played like 2 shifts in the entire game, and he generated 2 scoring chances immediately. Like it is an incredibly baffling decision. And if you're a Swedish fan, if you're a part of the team that helped put Team Sweden together, you've got to be absolutely furious about the way that this tournament went. Like you've got to be beside yourself with he didn't play Jesper Bratt. He was scratching Philip Forsberg in games. What are we doing?
Like for Sweden too, you have Hedman get hurt in warmups. That's a huge blow. Like that was huge. And it's just, I'm very happy the USA won, but Sweden lost that game more than the US won that game.
Yeah, they coached themselves out of that game.
Yeah.
They coached themselves out of that game. And like Sweden, I don't think talent-wise is as far behind the US and Canada as people make them out to be at points. But when they get to these big tournaments, they struggle because they make very strange decisions sometimes. They make very odd choices. And it bit them here. They're not even going to get a medal.
Nope.
And that sucks for a team like Sweden. Like, they got kind of hosed in the group stage where Slovakia overtook them, and they got a really bad draw where they had to play Latvia and then immediately get the U.S. I was not convinced the U.S. was going to win that game going into it. I was not 100% sold on that. And that, you were right. That game was stressful. Like,
and stressful. And it's easy to have like revisionist history. I was more worried about the Sweden game than I was about the Slovakia game. Yeah, that's taking 100%. Nothing away from Slovakia. It's just Sweden. It was probably the third most talented team in this tournament.
But they're probably neck and neck with Finland. But yeah. They were a very, very good team. And the fact that the U.S. only scored 2 goals on 40 shots, like, has to have you, like, your heart pounding out of your chest. 1-0. And you know they're going to get one.
Yes.
Again, a 1-0 shutout, like, is so hard to actually pull off. And they didn't. They give up the one because a team as talented as Sweden is going to score at least once. They have to. And you get to that overtime, and it's 3-on-3. And they have 3-on-3 problems. Sweden has some problem players. And thank God they pulled that game out. Like, that was so much weight off the chest.
So much weight. And like, here's the thing about Sweden too. I think I need to start watching some more Red Wings games because Lucas Raymond might just be like a budding superstar. He was so good in that game against the USA. That pass he has to set up Zibanejad for the tying goal in a minute, that was an insane play. And I may need to start watching him more because he's unbelievable. He was so good in that game. And you get Dylan Larkin in the USA game, or in that same game, scoring the only goal for the United States in regulation. I was the same thing as you. I'm like, they need to get a second one. They need to, because you're not going to get a 1-0 shutout. You just aren't. Like, it's very hard to do in a win or go home game when everything is desperation and everything is like amplified. And I got to give credit to the United States. They came out in that overtime. I don't think Sweden had a shot on goal.
6-0 in shots in overtime. Like, the U.S. did genuinely come out and say, we are not losing here, not on this stage, not after all this time. And man, is it so weird to celebrate a Quinn Hughes goal that hard.
That was, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think AJ tweeted it out from DMVR. He was responding to Luca, just being like, why can't both just be really good with Cale Makar and Devontae? Or Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes?
Yeah.
Like, I still think it's pretty comfortably that Cale's the best, but Quinn's the second best. Like, there's no shame in that. We've talked about this on the pod. He is great. He is a generational talent. It's just he's playing at the same time another generational talent is playing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how both of them are driving Team Canada and Team USA in these tournaments. It's not like you could say, oh, Quinn Hughes has just been so much better than Makar and Lewis. They've been both excellent. Like, I would say they both have a case for MVP. I don't think Makar wins it because they're just going to give it to McDavid. Yeah. Hughes has a definite case if Team USA wins it. Like, they have both been so important. Like, Quinn Hughes, there's a couple options for Team USA's best player, but I would say game over game, it's probably been Quinn, right?
Yes. I mean, he's leading the USA on ice time. And if you look at it over on FanDuel, McDavid's the odds-on favorite to win MVP at -185. Next is Quinn Hughes at +650. So it's going to be – he's actually tied with Connor Hellebuyck at +650. So I think Quinn Hughes just rocks, man. Like, that goal was beautiful. And the way – like, Sweden was so weird in the way they were covering the defenseman where they just – lost him a couple times. Like, Eriksson Ek made a phenomenal play on Quinn Hughes, like the shift before that. And God bless Landy fighting through whatever he fought through with his broken ribs to be out there and playing. He was a little slow in his recovery, and it gave Quinn Hughes a chance to get to the forehand, and it was a perfect shot that beat Markstrom.
Yeah, just incredible play from an incredible player. Again, so weird to celebrate a Quinn Hughes goal assisted by Matt Boldy and Austin Matthews.
Yeah. Very weird. Very weird. And that's what we were joking about before we started recording. It's going to be very weird to have to switch back next week. Like, literally in less than a week, we're going to be facing Quinn Hughes and Matt Boldy on the most heated rival for us in the Minnesota Wild. And I have to go back to hating these guys. And here's the thing too, Matt Boldy's really good. Like, he's awesome. He's awesome, and we knew that. But it's good to see him play on a big stage and get recognized. And maybe it was a good thing that they went to overtime 3-on-3, because what are the Minnesota Wild really good at?
3-on-3.
3-on-3.
But also, you know who else is really good at 3-on-3? Cole Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield. Yeah, touche.
Yeah.
But I'm very like, that game was. I watched the highlights like 5 times. I have.
I mean, that's the most electric Team USA goal in years.
Yeah, and it was
in the shootout.
Yeah, probably. It was awesome.
There hasn't been Olympics since then. Yeah. So
the only thing that was missing was Doc Emmerich, but I think Kenny Albert has been phenomenal in the entire thing. His reaction to not only that goal, but the golden goal for the USA Women's, which we'll talk about here, that game was out of bounds great as well too. That gave me goosebumps listening to Kenny Albert, because you can hear like the mic spike when the goal goes in. And you're a technician where you work in production, how do you prepare for a moment like that where the volume just gets so high? Like, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job making sure it didn't peak and spike all the way through. I mean, Kenny Albert, he's been incredible.
He's been awesome.
Like, he has gone, I think, under the radar for a while as just an incredibly solid announcer. It's just everyone talks about Doc and how great Doc is.
It's impossible to fill Doc's shoes, but he does a very good job.
Doc do the voiceover for some of the video packs? I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. It's just one of those ones where the broadcast, I know a lot of people give NBC some shit. We gave it when it was in the time. They put out a great product.
They're doing a great job.
Doing a great job. So that was awesome. And then you followed up with the game against the Slovaks today. And again, I don't think it's disrespectful to talk about Slovakia that way. They aren't even close to America in talent. They aren't even close. Like, Slavkovsky's awesome, but that game was over with 10 minutes left in the second period.
Yeah, I would say. The second Jack Hughes scored the 3-0 goal, it felt over, and then they scored 19 seconds later again to make it 4-0. Like, this was, without question, the best Team USA has looked in the entire tournament. It just feels like they've gotten better pretty much in every single game that they've played, where we talked about Team Canada coming into the group stage looking dominant. What's going to stop this team? And they had 2 kind of shaky games a little bit and against the Czech and Finland. And the U.S., outside of only scoring 1 goal in regulation, looked really good against Sweden. Like, I did like their game a lot. They just couldn't solve Markstrom. And then in this game, they ran them out of the building. Like, they had everything working in their favor, and they had so many guys that just contributed in this game and looked so good. I mean, Dylan Larkin looked fantastic. Tage Thompson, man, he is a stud. And Jack Hughes, this felt like the first time in Jack Hughes' career that he had his moment, like his true star-making moment. He's been a very good player in the league since he's been drafted. He's only been to the playoffs twice, I want to say, and once he was hurt.
Yeah, so, it was twice, but he was hurt last year.
Yeah, so he had some moments against the Rangers in that series a few years ago, but it's the first round, and he hasn't had that moment. He hasn't been in MVP conversations. He hasn't really been close for Art Ross or any scoring titles or anything. Like, he hasn't had that moment. This was the first time you saw Jack Hughes and what he can be, and that is one of the best players on the planet.
Yep, one of the best. Like, it's a fun conversation to ask who's been the better Hughes in this tournament, because Jack has been awesome. He's been. I don't think they can give him enough ice time. He's just taking over plays. Like, it is fun. It is funny to watch the two of them play because they have very similar play styles. Very similar. It's just Quinn's a defenseman and Jack's a forward, but you watch them play in the way they skate and the way they control the zone and manipulate the defense. It's like watching a carbon copy of each other.
Yeah, like, they're both just such a treat to watch, and such an added layer to this Team USA team that they didn't really have last year in the Four Nations, especially with Quinn hurt. And Jack was okay in it. He was okay.
But you go back to that Four Nations, and I think that was a good learning experience for him. When's the last time he played best on best hockey? It probably wasn't since the junior tournament.
Yeah.
It was probably good for him to get that experience. And we all know what Jack Hughes has potential to be a top 5 player in the sport. It's just been injuries have cost him so many ways. He can't cut a steak. Like, he cuts his hand. He was doing phenomenal this year. And to see him play at this level has been fantastic to watch. You talked about with Tage Thompson. We said it in the preview of the Olympics. There was an outside chance he could win MVP. I don't think he's going to, just based off how good the Americans have been. But holy shit, that guy is awesome.
But again, like the emergence of a superstar
Yeah.
being shown at the Olympics, like he is that guy. And the fact that the Sabres have struggled so much with him on the roster says a lot about the Sabres. They might make playoffs this year. We'll see what he can do on a big stage in the playoffs. But like Tage, he is such a monster. That line that they put together is so good.
You have Thompson, who's a sniper. You have Dylan Larkin, who is a very good two-way forward. And again, I need to start watching more Red Wings hockey because I just haven't watched the Red Wings the past couple of years. Very good two-way forward. And Jack Hughes is the game breaker. And it's just, you just roll with that. And Tage Thompson did leave this game against Slovakia for precautionary reasons. Mike Sullivan said after the game he's going to play on Sunday. We don't need to worry about that. It was just
it was 5-0. They're not going to play him in that third period.
Yeah, they're not going to play him. And I did, like, you knew this game was over when the Slovaks pulled the goalie. And it's like, that goalie did everything he could. He made some ridiculous saves. But then, like, the broadcast was like, well, they have a game to play tomorrow and they really want to win a medal. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I get why they pulled him. It kind of helps. And it's just, it's not a mean thing to say that Slovakia is not on the same level as the United States and Canada. There aren't any other teams who are on the level of USA and Canada. But I like I said, this game was a very stress-free watch after the USA scored the first goal.
Yeah, like they were just the better team from start to finish. Essentially, they looked like a finished product. The team that had some chemistry going and had a lot of the best players in the world on it. And taking that into a game against Canada, it's a much more interesting conversation, I think, going into this gold medal game than I think it was at the beginning. Yes,
this game's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. My first big key of this game is you can't take as many penalties as you took against Slovakia today. No. Like, the Slovakian power play looked like I felt like I was watching the Avs power play. It was that bad. It was that bad for the Slovaks today. What did the U.S. end up taking? I think they took 4 or 5.
Slovakia ended up having 5 power plays, I believe.
Yeah, they had 5 power plays. If you do that against Canada, you're not winning. You're just flat out, you're not winning.
Basically so. We're going to take a break for a quick moment here. We have a few bills to pay. We will be back in about 60 seconds or so, and we will get fully into previewing this Team USA versus Canada gold medal game, which probably one of the biggest games ever. So we will be back in 60 seconds.
When I go to court, these aren't my clients. These are my friends. These are people that I believe in, and they have one shot. Just one shot for justice. If they've come to me and we've gotten to trial, their life has been turned upside down in some awful way. I'm all they have. So if I haven't put the time in, if I haven't trained, if I haven't humbly looked in the mirror and thought about ways I can be better, and I don't present my best self in court, then I failed them. And that's what motivates me as a trial lawyer, because when this is over, that client goes home. And if I haven't done my best for him, I haven't been his champion, then I failed.
All right, we're back, and we're ready to talk about Team USA versus Team Canada for the gold medal. 16 years we've been waiting for this day, and we hoped we were going to get it. Looked like it might have gotten robbed of it a few times in some of those Canada games. Got a taste of it twice last year in the Four Nations. Some of the most successful games the NHL has ever put together, and now you get this game. It literally does not get bigger than this. This is the one and only time hockey is the main event in the sports world. And right now, coming into the group stage, I would have said probably 75-25 Canada. I'm closer to 50-50 now. I think Team USA has really rounded into form over the last little bit. They look like a very cohesive team. Canada has struggled a little bit, but not enough for me to say that Team USA is the favorite. I've seen people throwing favorite out for Team USA. I completely disagree. At best, this is a 50-50 hockey game.
And that's all you can ask for. Like you said, when we were first doing this, like looking at the group stage and how dominant Canada looked, you thought like no matter how good the USA plays, they're not beating Canada. But Canada's shown some cracks. We knew there were some cracks on Canada, and the Crosby injury is a big deal. And Jordan Binnington is the biggest question mark. He's the biggest question mark because we talked about it in the Finland game. He gives up 2 goals on his first 10 shots. USA is not going to turtle. They are. They aren't going to go. But you hope not. Fingers crossed. But there's advantages where the USA has, where like Canada has the forwards, no doubt. Canada has the USA beaten forwards, and it's quite frankly not even close. Like it's by far the best. But the defense core of Team USA has looked really, really good. And we talked about with Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy missed that Four Nations championship, and Quinn Hughes missed the entire tournament. Zach Werenski's been really good. Jacob Slavin, who was the star of that Four Nations, has been a third pair defenseman, and he's been great, but that's just how deep the Team USA's blue line is. And on paper, Connor Hellebuyck is the better goalie, and it's not even really close if you ask me.
Yeah.
But it's a 50-50 coin flip. And I think there's a way the USA can win the game, but there's also ways they can lose the game in the fact of if they try and beat Canada at their own game, which is speed and all that stuff. Team USA has the advantage where it's defensively, they're great. Don't try to beat Canada in a speed contest. You're just not going to win that game.
Yeah. I mean, Team Canada is very insistent on going down with the Jordan Binnington ship.
Yeah.
Like they are so insistent on this is the guy. It does not matter how mediocre he has been the entire season and in these Olympics. We are going down swinging with this guy. He has been sub 900 in both elimination games. Yes, he made some big saves. I would hope so. He's the starter for Team Canada, but he's been sub 900 in both games. And going into this game against Team USA, looking at how good Connor Hellebuyck has been, like we expected, you got to give the edge to the US in net. Especially it's like, well, Jordan Binnington wins the big games and Connor Hellebuyck can't. That would hold water if they didn't have a playoff series last year and a game 7 that Connor Hellebuyck won. Yes, he sucked in that series, but he did win the series, and he did win that game 7. So, yes, Binnington won the Four Nations gold medal. They rematched in the first round. Yes, Hellebuyck sucked in that series. But game 7, he did win the game. So he is capable of winning a big game, but he has been incredible in the Olympics so far. Where we were talking about, is Jack Hughes, is Quinn Hughes, Tage Thompson going to win it? It's probably going to be Connor Hellebuyck.
Yeah, if the USA wins, I would be shocked if it's not Hellebuyck.
Yeah.
Like, his stats got kind of hurt today against Slovakia where he gave up those 2 late ones in the third period. But
score effects.
Score effects. He's been so good, and he's been dependable, and the Team USA has made his job pretty easy, if we're being honest. Like he hasn't been tasked with making a ton of huge saves. I feel good about him going and making some big saves in this game in the gold medal, but I still would rather have Connor Hellebuyck in my net than Jordan Binnington.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy to say.
No.
Do I want the MVP of the league or a guy who's sub 800 this year? Which one?
If Canada loses this game, they are going to have some serious questions to answer about why were you so insistent on Jordan Binnington. If they win the game, they can gloat and celebrate all they want. Yeah. But if they don't, this Jordan Binnington thing is going to be something that hangs over them for 4 straight years. That they have all the evidence in the world and just couldn't do it because whatever reason you have Logan Thompson and you have Darcy Kemper. If Jordan Binnington was a 900 this year, I could understand the argument. It'd be like, well, he was great last year for us. He made the big saves. Why not? Right? He's been bottom 3 in the league. I don't understand. And if he's been lights out in these Olympics, I would gladly eat my words. He shut out Czechia the first time. Sure. He has been mediocre at best. Do you really not want to run Logan Thompson here? Are you 100? This is your final answer. This is it. This is literally the point of everything that has been done over the last 365 days since the Four Nations, and honestly, before the Four Nations. This is it. This is what everyone has wanted and been waiting for. Is Jordan Binnington your final answer? You get no takebacks. You're really going to die on this hill.
I just don't know how long is the leash for him in this game.
I don't think there is one. At this point, I don't think there is one. Unless he gets lit up for 5, I don't think they take him out.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. The thing with the Team USA, you're riding Hellebuyck no matter what. He's not getting pulled from the game, no matter what. He's not.
Ottinger hasn't played, and Swayman was terrible. Like, it's not even a question.
It's not even a question. So I'm intrigued to see that. I think the goaltending matchup, the USA has the advantage, and the D-core, take out Cale Makar and Devon Taves, they have the advantage on the D-core. Team USA does. But a matchup I'm very excited to see. Very excited to see. That Jack Eichel line. Canada's going to get last change because they're the higher seed, which that's a factor. That's going to be a huge factor because they will probably avoid the Kachucks and Eichels with McKinnon, McDavid. They'll probably try to avoid that. But if that line of Eichel and the Kachucks, which has been the best, probably most consistent line for Team USA the entire go out, if that line can do anything to get some goals, to lock them down defensively, that's going to be Team USA's best chance. It's going to be Team USA's best chance. And you forget, too, in that Four Nations, Matthew Tkachuk was out. He had torn his adductor. He was done. He played like 2 shifts, I think, in that championship game. So that's another key piece for the Team USA coming back. But that's a matchup I'm going to be very excited to watch.
Yeah. I mean, that game last year was as close as it could possibly be. It literally came down to inches and a blown defensive coverage on Connor McDavid, of all people. How does that happen? But I almost feel like with the whole group stage and the elimination games leading up to this, I almost feel like you got to throw it in the trash. When it comes to a game of this caliber, I can't really look back at how the other games have gone to make a prediction for how this is going to go. This is the biggest game, at very least in 16 years, since the last time these two played for a gold medal. And you can argue with how long it's been since we've had Olympics and the state of where international hockey is going. You can make the case this one is bigger than the ones that have come before. Granted, I was 9 and I didn't fully have the context leading into it, but just based on the world that I live in and not having had Olympics for so long and having such a long build up to this moment, I feel like this one's bigger.
Yes. I mean, I completely agree with you in that aspect. Like, how old was I in 2010? God, now I got to do math. 16? I was 16? Yeah, I was in high school. I remember watching that game. It was awesome. But that felt more like, and again, this is going to sound mean to Team USA, but that team was closer to the team that won the gold in 1980. Like, that team was not even close to the talent that Canada
That's a little harsh, but
it's a little harsh. But you know what? Like, compared to where this Team USA is now with the talent, compared to the 2010 team, that 2010 team was just Ryan Miller and Zach Parise and Patrick Kane. Like, it was still good. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, this team right now in 2026 would crush the team in 2010.
Yeah,
they would crush.
It's really not even like, it feels like there is. Obviously, it's the gold medal. Like, there's so much at stake here. But like, if the USA wins this and the women who won the gold medal earlier as well, that's a very uncomfortable 4-year conversation that is going to have to happen. If Canada wins, cemented. Like that is definitive. 2 years in a row.
Who has the most pressure? Is it USA or Canada?
I think it's 50-50. I think both have so much at stake. I think the US, honestly, I think I would say the US, because they have almost like the future of USA hockey and casual viewership riding on this game. If they lose again and burn the casual viewer again, especially if they wake up at 6 a.m, they're not going to be happy. And they're going to be like, well, hockey sucks anyway. Football, basketball is better. This is our 4th best sport. We don't care about it anyway. If they win, then you're going to get people being like, oh, well, we own this sport too.
Yeah.
Why don't I tune in more to watch, which is going to be great for the overall product and how much money the league makes. Canada winning is Canada winning. It's the expected outcome. Yep. But if they lose, obviously that's an embarrassment. Like, I'm not saying, oh, they can just shrug their shoulders and move on. That's embarrassing to lose both gold medals to the U.S.
That's bad, dude. And like, I would agree with that sentiment, just because Team USA is going to have the underdog mentality in this game. They lost last time. They are going to be rabid dogs in this game. And I do agree. I think the pressure's on Team USA more than it is on Team Canada. Team Canada has these expectations no matter what. Like, Team USA,
sorry to interrupt, but like, I wouldn't say like either team feels more pressure than the other. I'm just saying, like, if USA wins, they're getting more out of it.
Correct. And I think they're going to give it their best chance. I'm going to pick USA to win. I'm going to. I have to at this point. But it's a coin flip game. It's going to come down to special teams, where the Team USA hasn't given up a power play goal this entire tournament. They haven't faced the greatest competition. If we're being like, they haven't faced it.
A
little different. But if they can win the special teams battle, because USA power play, again, it's just it's so weird to watch hockey and the power plays be impactful. Just because my brain is just not caught up to that yet. If they can win the specialty teams battle, they win the game. And I agree with what you said earlier. They have to score at least 4.
Yeah.
They have to get at least 4.
Yeah. I think if I have to make a prediction for this game, I've said pretty much the whole time I think Canada's going to win. I'm going to pick the U.S.
Yep.
I'm going to change it at the last possible second and say I think it's all been leading to this moment.
Yep.
Everything that over the last 12 years since Canada won the last gold medal in 2014, it's all been leading up to this. All the talk about the Olympics, the 4 nations last year where the U.S. beat them in Canada but then lost the championship game, the lead up now to this moment.
Yep.
It just feels like it's the USA's time. It's been such a long time building to this moment. They look so good coming into this game. They look like they're firing on all cylinders. I still think it's 50-50, but I'm going to lean USA, probably because I'm biased.
We're extremely biased. I feel like we've been pretty complimentary of Canada the entire time. It's going to be tough to beat them, but I think we can.
I think it once again just comes down to another inch. If Austin Matthews lifts that puck another inch last year, USA wins, and we're having a different conversation right now. I think it comes down to that again.
The key factor. You need Austin Matthews to score a goal in this game.
Yes, Connor McDavid's going to have a Connor McDavid moment in this game. Maybe that's the same moment as Nathan McKinnon assisting on each other's goal, but McKinnon's probably going to have a moment as well.
Yep.
And they're depth guys. Like they again, Marchand, Bennett, Wilson. That's going to have an impact on the game at some point, one way or another. It is going to impact the game. I feel like Canada scores at least 3, even if Hellebuck plays out of his mind. But I think Jordan Binnington is capable of giving up 4.
Yep.
And yes. I hope it doesn't go to overtime because I don't love the U.S.
3-on-3 is going to suck. We've already talked about it, but that would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I don't love their chances at 3-on-3. I don't think it's automatically over, but I feel like Canada has a pretty distinct edge in that department. I think it's going to be – I think this game delivers. And I think the USA just ekes it out. Do I go full bias and say Brock Nelson has the gold medal?
Oh, I would feed generations if he scores the game winner. It would feed generations. It's going to be fun to watch Brock Nelson in that game because he's going to be relied on to produce something offensively, but he's going to be out there mostly defensively.
Now, I have an Avs take for it. I especially want Canada to lose. Obviously, I don't want McKinnon, Makar, and Taves, to be upset, but I want a little bit of a fire lit under them too. That they lost the gold medal game, they lost to Dallas last year, and then they go into the playoffs this year and kill everybody.
Yes. And it's going to be weird. Again, as an Avs fan, I'm going to be cheering against Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar and Devon Taves.
Yeah,
and
for 3 hours. Going to be weird. For 3 hours.
For 3 hours. The second it hits zeros, love them again.
Yeah, love them again. I'll feel bad for them after they're in the handshake line with a silver medal. But it's less cheering against them and more just like abjectly terrifying.
Yes.
Knowing full well.
The thought of facing Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar is terrifying.
Yes, they're absolutely horrifying. And they're both playing really well.
Yeah, they're both playing really well. So, and we've gone 55 minutes now into this episode, 54 minutes. I did go kind of viral on Twitter for what I thought was a normal take. I tweeted out that they need to change the time of the game because it's going to be starting at 6 a.m. You would have thought I said like Team Canada and like no one else matters outside of America. You would have thought
they pulled you out of your house and took your shoes in the reply.
I got
merciless to you.
I got roasted for the first time in my Twitter experience. I had to mute a conversation.
Yeah,
I got
you were the main character that day. You were the main character of Twitter that day. Like
that was crazy, dude. And like, here's the thing. I think if you ask a lot of people now that it is USA Canada, it is kind of ridiculous that they have to play at 6 a.m.
Again, okay. Let us reiterate the point, because people, I don't know if they did it on purpose. They probably didn't, but people don't care to view things longer than 3 seconds. We're not worried about ourselves.
No, I will be waking up and watching the game.
I will set an alarm for 5:45 and do it without a problem. I don't care. We are talking about Jimmy and Sally, who live in Idaho, who are not going to do that. Again, we're thinking of it from the casual viewership perspective, where it's like, I understand why. Believe it or not, Christian does know that time zones exist.
Yeah,
I will give him that credit that he does know that Italy has an 8-hour time difference. Did you know it was 8 hours? Quick test.
Yes, I did. Okay. I did. But again, it's not even that. Like, the point we're making, my roommate, I asked her, I was like, are you going to get up with me and watch the game? And she goes, no, I'm not waking up that early to watch a hockey game. I was like, what are we doing here, man? Like, and she's who I split my season tickets with. Like, she loves the Avs, but she's not waking up for this game. And it's just, I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity for hockey to be seen by more casual fans, to bring that whole point that you were talking about earlier.
Not everything's about America.
It's not. It's not. America, here's the thing.
First of all, okay, closing ceremony. Did you think about that?
Yeah, who gives a fuck about the closing ceremonies? Like, we're not asking for the game to be played at prime time in the East. All we're asking is push it back 2 hours. Just drop it 10 a.m. Eastern on the East Coast, 8 a.m. here.
But Christian, don't you know that European fans do this all the time?
No, I get that. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But it's just so maddening that we're talking about potentially the biggest hockey game ever. And a good chunk of the Western time zone is not even going to be awake. Like, they just aren't going to be awake.
You have probably, I would say, most of the casual audience that is going to see 6 a.m. and just go, no, thanks.
Nah.
I'm okay.
Like, even like, I can put it in perspective for me. The World Cup final, that Argentina-France game, which was probably one of the greatest soccer games of all time, I missed
ball, since I'm pretending to be European.
Yeah, sorry. I missed like 3/4 of the game. I didn't wake up until extra time. I just didn't care enough.
What time was it? I remember watching that game. What time was that game?
It was at I think it started at 8 a.m. in the mountain time. You remember you were on the East Coast still.
Oh, because I was at work. I was during the game.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, and I'm a casual football fan. Like, when it comes to soccer,
you can pick soccer. I was messing with you.
Yeah, like it was. If I put that in perspective for a casual hockey fan, I want hockey to be viewed by as many people as possible. And this is the biggest event of the Winter Olympics. It is. Say what you will about it. The reason why the Olympic viewership has gone up this year is because professional hockey players are there. Like, that's why. And that's all I was saying by that whole thing, is just like,
I get disagreeing with this point. That yes. I'm not saying we're abjectly correct. Obviously, they're going to prioritize the Italian time.
Yes.
Not the point. Not the point. Especially not 1.5 million impressions.
Crazy, dude. Crazy. I got
1,300 replies.
I had 1,300 replies. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I felt like I didn't say anything egregious either. It was just like, American.
I felt like it was just such a, the reaction is not proportionate to the take here. No. Of what if we push the game 2 hours to be like, you're a stupid American. Yeah. You don't know time zones exist. You're lazy because you're not getting up at 6 a.m. Also, you're a horrible person. Here's a tweet from when you were 12. And also you're a horrible person. Delete your account and probably die.
I did have one guy go all the way back to 2022 to find a tweet of mine asking why in the Women's Olympics there was no hitting. I was just like, you went that far into my tweets. First off, 4 years of tweets that's a lot of tweets for me, man. For that's 4 Avs seasons. He had to dig, man. He had to dig to find that tweet. But yeah, I got roasted, and it's okay. I still stand by the point where it's like, if you want the maximum,
social media is not that serious.
Yeah, if you want to in North America, I'm thinking of the fans on the West Coast who are going to have to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch this game. There's not going to be a lot of them who are going to.
We are not complaining about ourselves. Again, I have fully talked myself into this at this point.
Yes.
I'm excited to get up early
Yes.
and watch this game. We're talking again. I just don't think again. Well, people obviously didn't watch the show because you've got probably 1 million times more views on that tweet than we did on the show altogether.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine anyone really saw that. Where we talked at the end, we were like, yeah, but it's probably gonna be really fun though.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited to wake up at 6 a.m. and just my entire day is just going to revolve around that game.
Yeah,
like I'm going to wake up. I am going to go sit on my couch in my man cave, turn the game on. I'm going to watch every second. And then at the end of it, hopefully be cheering. If not, I'll be.
I also don't feel like it's a crazy thing to say. It's like, well, if maybe this was 2 hours later, it would get like way better ratings.
Way better views. Yes. Yeah. If you ask the NBC execs, I guarantee you they're all saying like, would be kind of nice if this game was like 2 hours later. It's not a crazy thing to say. But we can pivot because we do have to talk about it. That gold medal game between USA and Canada and the women's delivered on every aspect of it. That was a fantastic hockey game, men or women. Like, regardless, that was just a fantastic hockey game. And I think it goes to prove the point, if you want to switch it to the men again, where Canada got dominated by the USA in round robin play. And they were a minute away from winning gold in the gold medal game. Like, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything. They were 2 minutes away from winning a gold medal in a 1-0 shutout after getting beat 5-0 the first time. And that tying goal for Team USA, the winner, like, oh,
it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. And Bethany Frankel was awesome in that game for the goaltending. And Hillary Knight goes down as the greatest women's American hockey player ever with that tying goal. She deflects it between her legs. Like, it was a gross goal. And the thing that's crazy for USA hockey for women, a lot of these players are going to be back next year. Like, this is a very young team. And
that was the difference, I feel like, between them is Canada just kind of brought a lot of their proven people. Like, the US brought their speed demons to this tournament, and they slaughtered everybody.
It could be the most dominant hockey tournament run ever. They gave up 2 goals the entire time. In 7 games, they gave up 2 goals.
In 7 games, they gave up 2 goals, and they still almost didn't win, which is so – it's one of the most dominant teams of all time. 7 million people watched that game. Most viewed women's game, I think, of all time. Absolutely incredible. Huge boost for women's hockey.
Here's the thing, too. That game was played at what? I think it started at 11 a.m. local time.
No, dude. You got to get up at 6 or you're not.
What a crazy concept. What a crazy concept.
Again, I have to tell on myself here. Let me provide a little bit of background context here. I have not told Christian this story. So I was in Las Vegas this week for work with Colorado State basketball. And that game started at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. And so that game finished at around midnight Mountain Time. And my flight back the next morning was at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Mountain Time. But it was a very early flight. I'm a video editor. I was just like, I might as well just do the video and not sleep. So I didn't. I worked on my video. I got on the plane, hallucinated for probably half the flight from sleep deprivation, because also the night before I got woken up at 5 a.m. from an alarm blaring in the hotel that went on for 30 minutes. I barely went back I maybe went back to sleep for 20 minutes after that. So I was already exhausted. I am like genuinely hallucinating on this plane. I get home. I'm like, okay, I'm back in time for the game. I'm going to take a quick nap. I'm going to wake up and watch the game. I slept for 4.5 hours.
Yep.
Missed the entire thing.
Well, here's the thing. You didn't miss. You woke up for the most exciting part.
No, I missed the entire thing.
Oh, you missed the entire one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you woke up for overtime.
4.5 hours later. I fell asleep maybe like 30 minutes before the game. Yeah, you also have to understand, Griffin, why did you set an alarm? I was sleep deprived. I wasn't thinking straight. I was not in the right state of mind to think things through. I knew that I had to go to bed or to fall asleep in any capacity or I was going to die. So I did that first, and I woke up like 10 minutes after the game ended, and I head in my hands like I'm the stupidest person on the planet. I missed the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it was an all-time game. It was awesome, and like the way Team USA was able to bounce back, because the one goal Canada got was kind of fluky. Like, it was just a crazy bounce off the boards that led to a 2-on-1. Aaliyah Edwards was awesome the entire tournament. I didn't know she was a forward, and they just moved her to defense for this tournament. This was her first time playing defense, and she gets burnt on this play, a 2-on-1. Bethany Frankel can't bail him out, but that doesn't deter her. They go into the third period. They take a late penalty. They kill it off a big save by Frankel, and Aaliyah Edwards gets the shot past, and Hillary Knight makes an insane tip. And then the goal that won the game was, men or women, one of the grossest angles I think you can have. Like, you do feel kind of bad for the Canadian defender because she got just juked out of her shoes, and Keller was unbelievable the entire tournament. She beats I can't remember the Canadian goaltender in the 7-hole, and I was very excited for that win. Very excited.
Like, that is such a nasty goal.
Nasty.
To do that on that stage as a defenseman at that moment to win the gold medal. Like, that's what you dream of. That is the biggest goal you can score. Like, and that was just so cool.
It's just great awareness by, I forget, was it Hyvies? I think was her name. I think was her name. And she makes the play. Team Canada goes off. They change all 3 players, which, again, that's just bad coaching on a line change. You never change all 3 players at one time. She makes a beautiful stretch pass right on the tape of Keller, and Team Canada couldn't get back in time. Like, it is just, in hockey, there are moments where if you make one slight mistake, it can cost you a gold medal.
Yeah. That's what happened in the Four Nations last year. That's what happened for Team Canada in this gold medal game with the women. Like, that, the women in this tournament absolutely delivered. Phenomenal. I mean, Team USA, just a steamroller for 7 straight games. Like, I will go down swinging saying that is one of the most dominant teams, period. Yep. Not just in Olympic history, like sports history. Full stop. Great. 2
phenomenal
goals
tournament
in 7 games.
Insane. They were insane.
Held them to under 5 in this gold medal game. Should be celebrated as an active accomplishment.
Yep. Like, it's the turning of a page, because I think we're going to get in a moment where the Women's Hockey USA is going to run ship for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to be dominant for a little bit. And kudos to the women. The PWHL has an amazing opportunity to really take the next step as a league. They've already crushed it up to this point. They have a chance to take it to the next level, kind of like the NWSL did with after the World Cup success at Team USA.
Yeah, like I hope this full court press that they've been doing, going on tour throughout the country and everything. Like, their growth has been astronomical, and it is fantastic to see. And it's the best possible result for hockey in the U.S. to get that moment on that stage. It's only going to continue to grow. But congrats to Team USA, and hopefully we get another gold medal in hockey. I did, before we wrap up the show, I am ready to get back to normal hockey where in the NHL, where you can watch highlights of the game. It doesn't just have to be from one account. I'm very excited. It's been so annoying.
It's so annoying.
This is the thing that, like, pokes a hole in the growing the sport part of it, because it's kind of not, because they have
anyone who posts a video of it is getting, like, permanent ban, copyright infringement. Like, they're just getting banned. And that's why I haven't posted any, even like the NBC videos that I don't feel comfortable tweeting them because I don't want to get like a strike against me. So I'm very excited for that, and just being able to watch the highlights of a game and not have to go through one channel to get it.
You know, the NHL is absolutely beside themselves with this, like, that they can't tweet it. That
the Avs can't tweet. They just have to tweet pictures of the goals. That's all they can do.
Like, the first thing the NHL did was, like, they hand drew the goal that was scored. It was, like, for Canada in the first game. Like, they are so clearly pissed about this because, again, this is the moment. Like, this is when hockey is at the forefront. They need to be sending a full court press for advertisement and growing the league. They can't. They can't. They're blocked.
Shout out the IOC. Shout out the
I don't understand. What are you getting out of keeping it free? Like, it's such a 2005 way of thinking that you need to own all of these rights, and only people can watch it on your network and only on your Twitter accounts and your YouTube channels. That does nothing for you. If no one can see it, no one cares.
Nope. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, we're gonna have an amazing time Sunday morning. We will be watching the game. We may do an episode Sunday night. We may do one Monday, but we'll recap the entire thing.
I imagine we'll go after the game.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have plenty of time because the game's at 6 a.m. So
yeah.
We have plenty of time.
You disgusting, filthy, self-centered American. The game's at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. So we'll probably go after that, and then we'll recap the game and then preview the Avs games coming up, which is crazy to me that they're going to be playing in 5 days, and it's just back to reality and back to the stress.
It's going to feel so weird when the Olympics are over.
Yes,
like this has been talked about for 10 straight years of are they going back to the Olympics? If they do go back to the Olympics, what does it look like to finally be confirmed to go back to the Olympics? 4 nations last year. This whole season's about the build up to the Olympics. Once it's over, it's going to feel really weird to be like, all right, time for the trade deadline, I guess. Like, and
time for this, time for that. Like, fuck, dude, we're hitting the ground running.
Because we don't know when this is happening again. We assume they're going back to the Olympics in 4 years. We also assume that in 2014.
Yep.
We think that maybe they'll do the 4 nations again. There's been whisperings of the World Cup of hockey. There's no guarantees, though. And even when we get to the Olympics next year or in 4 years, there's no guarantee USA-Canada happens again.
Yes.
Like, again, we were really close to it not happening.
Yep.
Like 3 different times.
Yes.
There's very much a world out there where Sweden, Finland, Czechia get better and are able to pull off one of those wins. Like in 2014, we didn't get it in 2014. The U.S. lost. They didn't even get a medal.
Who'd they lose to? Did they lose to Sweden?
I think so. Yes.
It was Sweden or Finland. I can't remember.
I think it was Sweden. I'm not sure. But I know Finland was in the gold medal game.
So, yeah, then they had – or did they lose to Canada?
They had lost to Canada, but it wasn't to be eliminated.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
It was 12 years ago. My memory's a little fuzzy. I could look it up, but I'm not a good host, so I'm not going to. We're not going to.
But, yeah, again, you don't know when it's going to happen. I can't wait for it. And, yeah, I'm just I want tomorrow to fly by.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for work. Like, I'm going to knock out work and then get home and try to go to bed at a reasonable time so I can wake up and be, like, alert for this game.
Yeah. Like, again, don't take this. I know we've been, like, kind of expecting it forever. We almost didn't get it. It's not a guarantee we're getting this anytime soon. Anytime soon. Maybe in 4 years. Who knows? So,
who knows? Fingers crossed.
Enjoy this very much. Set the alarm. Get up. Like, we can't change anything about it. Set your alarm and get up and watch it. You know, I feel like every hockey fan is going to. Again, that's not the issue here. And is going to be a great time. I think the U.S. pulls it out. So I'm giving a final prediction. I think they pull it out. But
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I will be sitting on the edge of my seat the entire game.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't get bigger than this. It'll be bigger for us if the Avs are in the Stanley Cup final, but in terms of stakes, it does not get bigger than this game.
Doesn't get bigger. So, whew, I'm just getting chills thinking about it. Thinking about it.
It's going to be a very, very fun time. Christian, try to relax the Twitter fingers during the game.
I mean, I was worried. I was like, we're going to get like a ton of hate comments on the YouTube. No one responded to each. We were good. It's just they saw the one tweet and people were like,
yeah, people don't have an attention span longer than 2 seconds.
No. So we'll see.
We do have one mailbag question here.
Oh, let's have it.
Thank God I checked because I almost didn't. But we have one mailbag question from Easton saying, after watching the semifinals game, I don't really understand how Canada's second goal stood with Margie literally running the tendy while Miller was bumped into the goalie. USA game 1, and that was interference. Like, at this point, they should just go back to you can't be in the crease because they just be making shit up.
Easton, here's the thing, man. We don't know what goaltender interference is. And we never will know what goaltender interference is.
The frustrating part is that the IOC and like the World Hockey Federation does.
Yeah.
And they have standards for goalie interference. But I guess even those are loose. But I thought that deserved a little more scrutiny than it did. I'm okay with the goal standing, but I was a little shocked that we were just like, yep, move on. Not even a review.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm not anything that's reviewed. I'm just like it's just throwing darts at a dartboard.
I also really hope that this game just clean. No controversy, please do not have this game with like an overturned offside goal or a controversial goal. Like, just have the game, please.
Have the game.
I'd be so upset if this ends in some bullshit way.
Fingers crossed, because Wes McCauley is officiating it, so you never know.
Fuck no, whatever.
So I think it's Wes McCauley and Kevin something. Kevin Rooney.
Yeah.
Is his name. At least it's not TJ Luxmore. That's a positive.
Well, it's usually an abs problem. So
yeah,
maybe that would help Team USA.
Who knows, man? Who knows? So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. We'll be texting. We'll be up, and I will be tweeting. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, be a fun time. But that is going to do it for us on this edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. Thank you all so very much, as always, for tuning in. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GRYoungs. You probably already know where to find Christian right now. You've probably seen him somewhere. So just scroll through and find someone calling him stupid or dumb American or something, or self-centered. I don't know. What was some of them?
Selfish. Not everything revolves around America.
Hot take. In a game between Canada and the USA, does it kind of not revolve around North America?
Yeah. It's just people think they can hurt me. I muted the entire conversation. I didn't read that.
I love doing that. There were so many times in the playoffs last year where I said something and Dallas fans were like trying to like ruin my life. I mute the conversation the second I see a comment from another fan base.
Yep.
You are yelling at a wall.
I think it was like 100 likes in. I was like, oh, this tweet's not going to slow down. Mute. Yeah. I'm good. And then I checked it and I sent it to you. I was like, holy shit, man. Like I always wanted to have a tweet go viral. I was hoping to be under better circumstances.
Yeah. Again, social media is not that serious. It's just not.
I went on with my life. I worked. I'm here.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything that was like
2 days everyone will forget. So
yeah, I didn't say anything offensive. I just we were good. Like you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
I mean, if you're gonna get canceled, you might as well get your money's worth, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm canceled because I want to see more people watch the hockey game. Damn me. So
altruistic as always.
Yeah.
All right. We'll wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. If you want to follow the show, you can follow that at Hockey MTN Pod, where we are much less inflammatory on this half. So we're going to wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will catch you all next time. But until then,